Who is protected by the ADA? It could be a person who has a physical or mental impairment that substantially limits one or more major life activities.
I have ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, and APD, which is auditory processing disorder.
It could be a person with a record of a substantially limiting physical or mental impairment. For example, someone who had cancer, but the cancer is now in remission. At employees' workstations, you may need to lower shelves or file cabinets or raise the desk. Remember, you also need to provide reasonable accommodation during the interview process. Providing written materials in accessible formats such as large print, braille, or audio tape could help sight-impaired applicants. Providing readers or sign language interpreters could help hearing-impaired applicants.
It affects your work and your social life and your home life. And that is, everyone's like, oh, I leave my keys. And I'm like, yes, but I leave them 6 times a day, every day.
An employer is required to make a reasonable accommodation to the known disability of a qualified applicant or employee if it would not pose an undue hardship on the operation of the employer's business. It also might involve providing job-protected leave. An employee with a disability who is granted leave as a reasonable accommodation is entitled to return to his or her same position unless...
It was just a very unpleasant work environment, and I started pulling in and retreating a little bit. After everything escalated and I started to retreat, they eventually fired me.
In order to know which job functions you need to reasonably accommodate, you need to know which ones are essential. Ask yourself, does the job exist to perform that function? For example, an employee is hired as a bookkeeper. The ability to produce accurate records is an essential function because that's the reason why the position exists.